Mercy for you today. Netflix is releasing Netflix is releasing a movie about cuties. That's right, cuties. It says at first look, Cuties shows a sharp divide between two different worlds. The free-spirited dance clique led by carefree Angelica, and the strict I don't even know how to pronounce that. Senegalese family made up of Amy, her mother and brother. Somehow, Amy does not have a father in this situation, despite claiming to come from a traditional family. But let's continue. When Amy spies Angelica dancing in their apartment complex laundry room, their worlds begin to bleed together until Amy and Angelica form a universe of their own. Cuties tells the story of 11-year-old Amy. 11 years old. A young girl coming of age in France, of all places, yes, France, who is living with her family and waiting for her father to return home from Senegal, while her mother, Miriam, still holds dear the traditional Senegalese values she grew up with. Her daughter is more adventurous. So let's stop there for a minute. We have a traditional migrant family who is experiencing the disruption and, dare I say, corruption of their daughter, Amy, who is, I need to remind everyone, 11 years old. And Amy and Angelica are part of a dance routine. Now, I don't have to tell you the kind of dance routines that these girls will be doing. I assure you it's not ballroom dancing. I assure you it's not folklorico. It's nothing. It's not the waltz. It's not anything traditional or wholesome or anything that you and I would consider appropriate for an 11-year-old. But let's continue. Feeling rebellious, of course, Amy asks Angelica if she can join her dance group called the Cuties. Yes, they're calling this dance group of 11-year-old girls dressed precisely how you'd expect them to be dressed, as the Cuties. And although she's laughed at and lightly bullied, she keeps pushing. Oh, so this is Amy pushing into the grooming cult, is essentially what we're supposed to get out of this. Soon she proves herself to be a talented and mesmerizing dancer. Now, remind you, we're talking about an 11-year-old child as a talented and mesmerizing dancer. They loved you, Angelica tells her, showing Amy a video of herself dancing with the group. See how many likes we have. So we have Amy now being taught by this more libertine sect that her value is measured in likes as compared to, the virtues taught by her traditional culture. Amy and Angelica grow closer and continues to practice dancing with the clique, exploring her femininity at 11 years old, learning some risque choreography along the way. Again, she's 11 years old. But despite her hopes, Amy soon discovers that it is impossible to balance her new life with her role in her family. What are you doing, Amy? Her mother cries, betrayed when her daughter steals money to go shopping with her new friends. Who are you, Amy? Well, that's a wonderful question because I paused the Netflix trailer, and here's Amy, and I don't know if you can see it, but the caption below says, quote, "You're a woman now." This is being told to an 11-year-old girl. But let's continue. The film, which originally premiered at Sundance Film Festival earlier this year, marks the directorial debut of French-Senegalese filmmaker, I'm not pronouncing that shit, Deciders Anna Menta, who attended the premiere, praised the drama as a stellar feature debut. Cuties is an international story about a specific subset of Paris rarely seen on screen, a working-class Muslim family. But it's also a universal story about girlhood. The script perfectly captures that preteen desperation to fit in, which so many girls understand to mean to, quote, be sexy. With the daily barrage of hypersexualized women in media, how can you blame them? So this is a grooming film. This is straight up a grooming film that promotes the idea that 11-year-old children should be striving to be sexual and alluring. Now, I understand that this isn't directly about sexuality or sex itself, but let's face it, we've had other genres like this before, and the age difference between those genres and what this is promoting is vastly different. Movies like Grease, Footloose, all featured almost adults in their high school years, almost getting ready to go off to college, figuring themselves out, and they're practically on the cusp of adulthood. That dynamic, that rule set has now been shifted to 11 years old. I'm sorry, but this is a grooming film. There's no other word for it. There can be no apologetics for this. This is a film that is intended to normalize the sexual grooming of children. And shame on Netflix for allowing it to be put on their platform.